Okay, I think this is as good a time as any. I actually think the right thing to say, it's a better time than most. It's lovely and sunny and cold, but sunny. I've got to follow my train of thought, get my train of thought rolling as to what I was going to say. When I start speaking like that, I get I feel like I'm going to start yawning. Just a yawn, makes me yawn to speak. I can't tell if it's like a nervous thing or if it's like just to do with my the way that I'm speaking. It's difficult to speak naturally when you're not speaking naturally. If there's my phone pointed at my face and like a specific intention for what I'm trying to say. What a weird way to go off on it. God, it's actually hot. It's not just sunny, it's hot. It's supposed to be freezing. Okay, I think this is just a sort of a state of things for myself. Well, I'm making it into a little video, so it's not for myself, but it's all mostly supposed to be for myself anyway, just to follow where I'm going. Update myself in my mind as I go along, but I think it's nice to put it down. So it's been months and months since I made my list of books and started reading those books, and I've been reading them, but I've not made any of the kind of like review-esque videos on them that I was thinking I would sit down and do. So it's more likely that most of what I thought of the first two is out of my mind now, but I was grouping those together, picked the sort of two of the bigger, longer things that I could have picked for those first two books, so it took me a while to read them. I don't think I need to worry too much about explaining and excusing why this burping, that's good, why it took so long to read everything. I'm on my sixth book now. The first two took a while, the next two was a bit slower than it, but the last one I read, which was Alfred Bester, The Deceivers, I read, in like less than a week. But it was just one of those that's just really moreish, whereas maybe the others were less so. Before that was, I feel like probably the angle that I'm filming this is terrible, but it's more comfortable with my hand. It's very beautiful, very, very beautiful today. Oh my god. Before that was Van Vogt, or Van Voigt, however you say his name, The Children of Tomorrow, which was it wasn't terrible. I think I'll separately sort of talk about and review these things, but I'll just gather my thoughts on everything, maybe not everything, right now for this. I'd like to talk about the Noam Chomsky and Ursula Le Guin book, the first two together, and briefly the other two. There's not much to say about them. I think that The Deceivers deserves like its own. I'll try and like review it. I'm sure I can. It's just whether or not it'll be very good. Doesn't matter. But yeah, into the new year now. Finished one this year. The next thing is quite short, and then I think I've got a massive one that I've selected, and it will be quite dense and maybe not very fun to read, but going away, so maybe I'll be able to read loads of it while I'm away. I'm enjoying the kind of like challenge that I've set out for myself, and I'm also not enjoying it. I like going to shop for books and buy books. Partly I've tried to not buy any books. I don't even know if I accidentally broke the rules previously. I think I ordered some comics and decided that wasn't breaking the rules back in November. And I just bought the new Patti Smith with a gift card, which I think doesn't break the rules. And I'm gonna have to cut into the order if I was gonna only read the 20 books with no interruption by anything else. Apart from I've probably read some comics and things, but I decided that was fine because they're different. A comic is not a book. Well, it is. That's really frozen down there. That's pretty cool. Look at that. That's good. I'm gonna have to cut into the order because we're doing some friends, and I'm gonna take part reading all of the Narnia books over the course of this year, and I'll have to read the first one soon because it's when they're doing it. Right, oh my god, cut myself short there because I walked past someone. I'm gonna have to put in the Narnia books so that I can follow along with them. It's kind of a Narnia book club, which I think will be fun. I've not read them. The idea is it's like a classic thing that we probably should have read. And I'm looking forward to that. What was my thought that I was going on about? I'm trying to explain. I explain mostly to myself. So why I felt like I wanted to make I'm going to walk this way just so I can go a long way around. Why I felt like I wanted to make some videos about books that I was reading is obviously because earlier on this year, at the start of this year, I started bumping into more of these YouTube videos about books and things, which I hadn't really found before, and I was led to read I think the first thing was Voyage to Arcturus, David Lindsay, and I thought it was because I'd seen a video by Liminal Spaces about that book, but then I realised that was not true, because it was only recently that I think he read that. Maybe he talked about it in something on random, but I think what I'd actually seen was another video, and video by what's his name? It's not really someone I've watched much of. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, I'd seen it and I bought that and I read it, and I'd been watching loads other ones, different people talking about books and unboxing loads of books, and I just was ordering lots more books and finding out about lots more, mostly the science fiction that I didn't know about. And I've always read like quite a bit of sci-fi, but I think this year I've read maybe a bit more, and I've also bought loads more, buying like crazy amounts. Like for the past few years, like whenever I find really old science fiction books, I normally buy them because I've had a few since I was young. But this year, I suppose all the stuff on YouTube are just it's a bit of a rabbit hole that I think loads of people are going down the same rabbit hole. There's always maybe people that have already been slightly down there or been peering down there. It's happening, and I think I've noticed that there's definitely more people are reading. Well, actually, no, less people are reading than they've ever read, but I think we're slowly on the uptick back, where more people are starting to read again and want to read again, to accommodate for it. And I think science fiction and fantasy are on part of that uptick. It's the huge thing, isn't it? Like these kind of like young adult romance fantasies are super popular now. But the general fantasy sections, I think, in like Waterstones bookshops, and I was in the Foyles in the big one in London the other day, and I'd been there months and months ago, and it seemed like there was so much, and then recently there was so much more. I think it's definitely expanded the section, and there, as I browsed the shelves, there was absolutely lots of authors there and books there that hadn't been there before and are in the circulation of authors that people are talking about online. God, that was hard to get out, wasn't it? That was a mouthful of, oh. I'm simultaneously bird watching as I'm doing this, but I'm not really bird watching. I'm paying too much attention to what I'm saying. Anyway, I thought with the amount that I was buying and the amount that I was attempting to try to read and trying to make myself read more of, I would join in the video making side of it, just as a way like this to keep on track with myself. But I suppose it would be a laugh, if slightly nerve-wracking and embarrassing, even though it's not, for people to see and talk to some other people about what they're doing, which is the same thing, collecting weird books, reading weird books. I read a lot of other stuff as well, they're not just science fiction, and I think I will talk about those things because they interest me. And hopefully my aim is that if I sort of review things and sit and talk about a book, I mostly like walk around thinking about if it is actually stimulating. I'll think about it for a while I'm reading and after I'm reading it anyway. So I think it'd be good to pull all those thoughts together, and I hope that will make me better at thinking about them and articulating what I think about them. Ideally. Is that? Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. It's so bloody nice. So I'm on the 6th book. It's a short one. It's sort of like essays. It's weird. I can't remember how I found out about it or why. I've no idea. A few things that I want to do that I will say right now, so I can put down to myself that I want to do them, and chronologically place my thoughts and ideas. I want to go through and make a shopping list of all books that I remember, because there's so many things that I go like, oh, I'd like to read that, and that how I mention that I'd like to read it is really weird. I've got lots of photos in my camera roll of books I've seen in the flesh, and I just forget about them and just go off my camera roll. So I'll put them all on a list. Also list down anything that I'm aware of that I want to read. And there's a few books I need to look at where they mention lots of things which I've always wanted to read, because either they keep coming up where different people will cite them or reference them. So I'll make a big list like that. And the other thing I want to do is like go through everything that I've got and sort of really more separate all that I've already read and things that I've not read. And I don't think I do what I've done or what I'm attempting to do now, which is like stick to a set list of books that I have to read and like not buy anything else. I'll do my best not to buy any books for the rest of this 20. I'm bad at committing to a challenge though. And then I think I wouldn't necessarily set in stone a list of books that I absolutely have to read before I read anything else. I'll create more separate piles that I can drop into, but do my best not to buy ridiculous amounts of things before I've read things that I've already got. Now especially, I've got so many books, old science fiction books that I can read because I bought so many. I think that's all I have to say for that little update thing. That's quite long. If anyone has seen it, what I've said just now all the way through, weird, very weird. Why would you sit through and listen to all of that? Who the hell am I? Why do you want to hear from me? But also, hello. nice to preemptively have not your company, but your voyeurism. Enjoy.